Coming up, being one specific minority may make your paycheck reflect differently.
And one local airport is choosing to put customers first instead of politics. Stay tuned.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Matt Meyer.
And I'm Abigail Rodriguez.
If you've heard loud chanting this weekend, you might be surprised that the same event took place across the Bay Area. Take a look at what happened this Saturday. This weekend marked the largest No Kings demonstration across the Bay Area, according to organizers. Each city saw thousands gather to protest the Trump administration and its actions, from handmade signs to costumes. Protesters shared one message: this democracy has no room for dictatorship. Several states reported sending National Guard to monitor these events, but organizers say the No Kings protests remained peaceful, even as protesters spread to cities across the country.
Latinas in Silicon Valley face the widest gap in the nation, earning just 33 cents for every dollar white men make, and advocates and students in San Jose are now pushing for change. Our reporter Alex Diaz has the story.
Thanks, Abigail. In one of the richest regions in the nation, the paycheck tells a different story. Here on campus, students and advocates gather to demand equal pay for Latinas. It is a conversation that hits close to home for many across Silicon Valley.
Jessica Vera is a program specialist with the Latina Coalition of Silicon Valley, who works to empower Latinas through education and economic mobility.
We want to make sure we're putting Latinas in leadership positions and asking, for their pay, for their worth, and for their community.
The Latina Coalition of Silicon Valley hosted Latina Equal Pay Day at the beginning of October to bring awareness to the nation's largest wage gap. Advocates say Latinas in Silicon Valley earn about $34,000 a year, less than half of what white men make in the same region. The impact of the wage gap is being felt at every level of education. Students from different campuses say they are already struggling to balance school and work while trying to keep up with the cost of living in Silicon Valley.
People feel like they have to keep up and keep making more and more money because prices keep rising and rising and rising. I'm a college student. I work part-time. A Target trip will break my bank.
As an intern, I have to make sure that I work the right amount of hours so that I can pay for food or for gas or for treats for myself.
They say it is about changing generational mindsets, not just policy. Many Latinas say they have been taught to keep working and not speak up about pay. Now they want to see more Latinas in roles they have not always been allowed to have.
We're always grateful for that $25 an hour, and we're like, oh, we don't even know, we recognize that we could ask for more.
The Latina Coalition says closing the gap will not happen overnight, but change starts with conversation and awareness. Live in San Jose, Alex Diaz, Update News.
A video from the U.S. Homeland Security Secretary is drawing criticism after it turned political. Some airports in the Bay Area are choosing not to play it. Our reporter, Mohammed Najimi, has more on this story.
The federal government shutdown began on October 1st after Senate Democrats and Republicans couldn't reach a deal on extending the Affordable Care Act and healthcare funding. To update the public, the Department of Homeland Security distributed a video to airports nationwide featuring Secretary Kristi Noem, who suggested Democrats were to blame for delays.
We will continue to do all that we can to avoid delays that will impact your travel. And our hope is that Democrats will soon recognize the importance of opening the government.
San Jose Mineta Airport declined to air the video, saying messages in the terminal should focus on travelers. Airports in Oakland, San Francisco, Sacramento, and Stockton have also opted not to air it.
So no additional messaging is necessary in the terminals. In case we will notice some operational impacts, we will use airport-specific messaging to keep our passengers informed. We want to reassure the community that operations at SJC are not impacted by the government shutdown.
Airport officials say they'll keep monitoring the situation and update travelers if any federal impacts arise.
When we come back,
your favorite local street vendors are here to stay. Keep watching.
Stay tuned. Those shopping carts might stop making disappearing acts. And
I'm student meteorologist Luis Ocampo, and we have experienced a lot of weather so far this semester, from sunshine to rain. But what's next? Stay tuned to the forecast.
At SJSU, every sunrise sparks your purpose. Purpose, ignited in the classroom, on the field, through Silicon Valley internships, academics, teamwork, and research. And our community of care means that every Spartan is valued and supported. So tell me, are you Spartan ready?
Despite all the controversy against immigrants in the U.S., California is prioritizing street vendors' rights and safeties through a new and approved bill. Our reporter, Tanya Ortega, has more on the topic.
Maria Graciano is a Mexican street vendor who sells traditional treats like tostielotes, tamales, and mangoneadas. For vendors like Maria, selling food on the street came with citations and sometimes even arrests.
Por no tener permiso, me esposaron 2 veces.
For not having a permit, I got detained twice, and they threw all of my things away. Under a new bill, Senate 635, signed by Gavin Newsom, street vendors can now obtain a permit without the worry that their personal information or immigration status will be shared with the Department of Homeland Security and ICE. The current law allows city officials to collect vendors' confidential information they provide when applying for a permit, which can be released to federal agents. For her son, growing up with a single mom was challenging as she depended on his English when selling.
We used to go to work with her maybe as young as maybe 4 years old. She used to put us up we used to sell in shopping carts in like Walmart.
Community advocates express the new Senate bill is more than just a piece of paper. It's a step forward for undocumented street vendors.
It's going to be a positive way because people is always afraid to be outside because of the situation. So the fact that nobody can reveal names and status, immigration status, will be wonderful for the community.
A big change for vendors who have showed fear in applying for a permit that would have potentially put them at risk. Senate Bill 635 will take in effect January of 2026. California hopes it'll encourage vendors to get permits without fear. Reporting in Redwood City, Tanya Ortega, Update News.
The state of California is addressing environmental concerns with a new bill for shopping carts. I went to see the impacts this new bill will have on our local waterways.
The California Senate Bill 753 is set to address the harmful impacts shopping carts in waterways create for the environment.
With their shopping carts in the waterway, it effectively creates a trap or a cage for the fish. And if they get stuck in there, sometimes they have a hard time turning around and swimming back downstream and trying to find their way back upstream.
In the 500 plus cleanups the South Bay Clean Creek Coalition has done, they have removed an average of 3 to 4 carts per cleanup. Many of these carts are found in the Guadalupe River and Los Gatos Creek. This has created several environmental issues like water pollution.
Grocery carts are a unique piece of litter. They're big and also allows for a flow of water to go through. So that can cause issues because it'll end up selecting a lot of other litter in the waterways, and that can cause, a flow issue.
The city of San Jose, which sponsored the bill, is continuing to collect abandoned shopping carts to prevent future environmental concerns from arising. Currently, this is being done through a cart collecting pilot program in downtown and South San Jose.
We are going to return to the City Council in December with some proposals as to how we could move forward from that pilot with the ultimate goal of providing a cart collection service for the entire city.
The bill will go into effect in January 2026, with officials hoping that it will bring the necessary actions to reducing the harmful impacts cart littering has.
San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan says that this new bill is a smart collaborative step toward cleaner neighborhoods and more responsive public services.
This morning really made me want to get a hot cup of chocolate.
You know exactly what season we're in.
Let's go see what the weather looks like with our student meteorologist, Luis Ocampo.
Thank you, Matt Abigail. So we're starting off with a look from Duncan Hall, which shows mostly sunny conditions over campus in Tower Hall. But we have some changes in store for the weekend, so let's take a look at those headlines if they show up. There they are. Dry weather will still be in store into tomorrow, but we'll have 2 chances of rain as we head into the weekend. First one will be Saturday afternoon. The second chance will be as we head into Sunday evening. So be prepared and don't be surprised if you get rained on over the weekend. Temperatures for tomorrow, Friday, will range from the 60s as we head into the coast and the bay, then 70s from the North Bay, East Bay, and into the South Bay. So we'll still have one more dry day with also some partly cloudy conditions. But let's take a look at what's in store for the weekend. We got radar cast on with our own San Jose State model. Around Saturday morning, around 9 a.m., that's when the showers will start making its way through into the North Bay and into the Bay proper. As we progress through Saturday afternoon, those chances of showers will be making its way in, possibly down along the coast. Might make its way to the South Bay, but better chance of rainfall will be along the coast, North Bay, and Bay proper. Mostly dry for Sunday, but as we head into Sunday evening, there is that next chance of rain, but at most drizzle to light rain at most, and then Monday will be clearing out. Rainfall totals with this system is not really impressive, just several hundredths of an inch for most of the bay, but some higher elevations like Mount Tam could get maybe half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. So don't expect what we experienced with San Jose a few weeks ago. For the Sierra, though, we could see some snow also up around the Lake Tahoe area and also into northern mountains like Mount Shasta and Lassen Peak. Now, let's move on to the 7-day forecast, which shows 60s as we enter the weekend with chances of rain around Saturday, Sunday, but then sun will return for Santa Cruz and some 70s as we head into next week. Let's now go on to San Francisco and Oakland, which has a similar story. Chances of rain into the weekend, then a rebound possibly to 70 around Tuesday for San Francisco, back into the mid-70s as we head also for Oakland. Finished off here in San Jose State University, which has a similar story again. Chance of rain Saturday, Sunday, 68 on Saturday. Then back into the mid to upper 70s as we head into Tuesday as well. So to sum it up, basically, chance of rain over the weekend, but we'll have some sunshine and warm conditions returning into next week. That's all I got for this Spartan Weathercast. Back to the desk.
When we come back,
Look out, because a beloved holiday became better. Up next.
One furry friend center could be getting an upgrade. Stay tuned.
Want to know what's happening in sports this week? Stay tuned for Spartan Sports Central with me, Alex Diaz.
The next generation of changemakers and innovators can be found right here at San Jose State University. Because here, in the heart of Silicon Valley, every student has the opportunity to achieve and discover. The opportunity to go beyond what they dreamed was possible. And the opportunity to take their hopes and aspirations to the next level. It's about breaking down barriers and aiming higher. It's about bringing students closer to finding successful careers. And it's about giving students the hands-on experiences that will shape and inform the rest of their lives. San Jose State is the place that cultivates collaboration. It's the place where future leaders belong.
A traditional Indian festival will now be recognized as a holiday in California for the first time this year. Our reporter, Sophie Cipriano, went to go see how the Indian community is celebrating.
Diwali, the Festival of Lights, is now shining bright as California's newest state holiday. For Dublin residents, this Diwali marks a turning point.
I feel like being home, seeing everyone around and so many stalls here. So it's definitely a cultural shift for me to see the celebration being in this large scale.
Hindus make up about 2% of California's population, making it the second largest Hindu state, with other South Asians partaking as well. Dublin and the Tri-Valley Hindu Connect hosted its first city-sponsored Dublin Diwali Mela at Emerald Glen this past weekend. A moment many say united the community.
It's so much fun. It's kind of a spirit come alive because here I see all parts of India, actually all the cultures gathering together.
With dance performances, small businesses selling clothes, and Indian food pop-ups, the celebration showcased how South Asian traditions continue to add to California's cultural melting pot.
Last year, when I was talking to a lot of friends, we talked about, I said, we need to recognize Diwali as our state's holiday.
And it's not only Sherry Hugh, Dublin's mayor, who feels strongly about this celebration. Gavin Newsom signed in Assembly Bill 2680 at the beginning of October, allowing state workers to receive a paid day off to celebrate Diwali, starting January 1st, 2026. As the light shines on and the festival continues, California celebrates Indian heritage at a state level. In Dublin, Sophie Cipriano, Update News.
A music venue is set to close in San Jose after suffering the lasting effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Our reporter Abe Brettel has the details.
Art Boutiki started off as a comic publishing house that gradually became a music venue in San Jose. After 16 years, Art Boutiki is set to close its doors at the end of this year. For some, the closure of Art Boutiki represents a lack of creative spaces in San Jose.
In SF, people that have power care about the arts because it's an institution. They have an institution based on the arts. Like, it's San Francisco, right? San Jose doesn't have that same appreciation for local culture.
Art Boutiki is not closing due to a rise in rent, but rather the lack of sustainability to keep these spaces in business, per their blog. Many of these creative spaces often rely on donations in order to keep doors open. Art Boutiki launched a GoFundMe to cover their last shows before shuttering in December. These spaces also hinge on a small yet loyal community to continue to function.
You know, if people can continue to support the places that are already, the establishments that are here, that's the first step. And you know, we need to support the community before we start making further plans for things that are bigger and better.
Founder of Art Boutiki, Dan Vado, believes without artist spaces, it becomes harder to have a culture that values creation.
The doers, the makers, they make things to be seen. And if there's no place to be seen, it becomes difficult. You can still make your stuff, you can still write your songs, but if no one's going to listen, you know, what's the point?
With Art Boutiki closing down, they stress that showing up to local music scene events is what keeps artistic expression alive in your city. In San Jose, Abe Brettel, Update News.
A leadership change at a local animal shelter has some in the community hoping that this will improve the treatment of those in its care. I went and found out more about this decision.
Newly announced Deputy Director Monica Wiley will take on challenges at the San Jose Animal Care and Services Center, like an overcrowded shelter and insufficient care, according to an audit from 2024.
You know, animal cruelty is not cool.
Gabriel Diaz adopted his dog, Ranch, at the center and was displeased when he heard about the center's current conditions.
Especially when you start getting these real crowded conditions, you know, it's important that they, you know, make sure that those animals are treated right.
Like Diaz, Caitlin Cochler also adopted her dog Gambit from the center last December. She says she thinks the center is doing the best they can.
I don't think anyone inherently wants to be hurting the animals or like not doing what they can for them. I just think it's so overcrowded and people are buying from breeders and they're not like even thinking about like adopting like from a shelter.
Cochler said she found Gambit on the center's Instagram page, where they often post animals for adoption in an effort to get them homes. Nicholas Echeverria works at the center and has been there for 3 years. He tells me what he and his colleagues face on a daily basis.
We see probably like hundreds of dogs a day, and we're turning a lot of them away, and people get mad at that. But at the same time, when we took in all these animals, they were scrutinizing us for being overcrowded. So it's either we turn everything away and people are mad at us, or we take everything in and people are mad at us.
Deputy Director Wiley will begin taking on the issues of the Animal Care and Services Center when she officially starts Sunday.
Monica Wiley said in a statement that she is thrilled to join the center and that her mission is to improve the lives of both animals and people in the community. So Abigail, do you own a pet?
Yes, I do. I have a cat.
Awesome. Well, I checked in with other Spartans to see if they have pets themselves in this week's State of the Spartans.
Yeah, I have a black pug named Dora back at home.
Yes, I own a pug named Buddy. Shout out, Buddy.
I used to have a pet. It was my cat named Cody. He was here with me for 16 years, and he was my best friend.
Yeah, I have a dog named Luna. She's a golden doodle. I got her during COVID, and she's 5 now.
I do. I have 2 dogs. One is a Vizsla. He's insane. Super hyper. He basically wants to sit in your lap all day, but he's ginormous, and there's no sense of personal space with him. And then my other dog is an Australian cattle dog. She also super hyper. I love her though. I got her a 1.5 years ago when my other dog passed away. And then when she passed away, I got her tattoo of her on my ribs because my dogs are my life.
Now we have Alex Diaz here with this week's sports recap.
Welcome back to Spartan Sports Central. I'm your host, Alex Diaz. Let's see what the Spartans are up to this week. San Jose State's men's soccer finished in a 1-1 draw against Grand Canyon Saturday night in Phoenix. The Lobes struck first in the 33rd minute, but in the 71st minute, midfielder Gilberto Rivera sent a perfect ball off a free kick to center back Javier Lopez, who headed it in for his first career goal to even the score. Goalkeeper Axelson made 3 saves in his first start of the season as San Jose State held one of the nation's top scorers to just 1 shot. Spartans now sit at 8-3-3 overall and return home to face San Diego State on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. at the Spartan Soccer Complex. Women's golf now to the course where San Jose State's women's golf wrapped up play at Stanford Intercollegiate hosted by Condoleezza Rice, finishing 17th overall. Lottie Scher led the Spartans on the final day with an even par 71 and a 10-shot improvement from her second round. Scher made 3 birdies on the day and finished tied for 83rd at 14 over par. Regina Rodolin was the top Spartan finisher, tying for 60th at 8 over, while Moa Anderson closed strong with 73 to tie for 65th. San Jose State will now close out the season at Nanea Invitational later this month, and now it's time for your Spartan Showcase. Here's what you need to know this week. San Jose State's men's basketball is officially back as the Spartans get set for the first and only exhibition game of the season. SJSU will host Cal State East Bay this Monday, October 27th at 7 p.m. inside the Provident Credit Union Event Center. The Spartans are looking to improve on last year's 15-20 season, where they won 7 conference games in the Mountain West and showed signs of progression under head coach Tim Miles. Miles enters his first season at the helm, returning several key players along with new faces ready to make an impact. Basketball season is officially back in San Jose. Now that's a look at what's happening this week in Spartan Sports Central. I'm Alex Diaz. Back to the desk.
And that does it for this week's edition of Update News.
For all of us here, thanks for joining us, and see you next week. And please make sure to check out our socials.